Welcome back to the Gemini channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Gemini. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading, so I do look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play it as karmic themes. This will allow you to understand why everything's playing out the way that it is, why your person is doing what they're doing. Really important when you're dealing with a person that wears masks, creates facades. We know that we feel one thing and we know what we're seeing is something completely different. And what we're seeing a lot of times is triggering. So we want to know why we have this connection. What's the point of the connection? And a lot of times, if the relationship is toxic, we want to know how to let go of that connection. See, karmic connections are all about learning. There is a cord of unconditional love, but there's also a lot of spiritual lessons that need to be learned. And until the lessons are learned, you really can't transmute that negative energy. So there's always seems to be like their energy is still lingering, even if you're not together with that person. So the readings are more about helping you heal the effects of trauma. It doesn't mean that this person won't have feelings for you and not come back. A lot of times they do. But the thing is, if a person hasn't healed, you're still dealing with the same behaviorisms and habits. See, that's the problem with these past life connections. It's that there is love. There's just also a lot of pain and pain due to trauma that hasn't been healed and it continues to play out within relationships. So the relationship looks like on, off, on, off, on, off. And then each time it goes off, there's more and more and more like negative energy that's being accumulated because the issues are never really worked out. They're just, like it's just two people that miss each other. Now, again, if you want to enter into a free reading with me, you gotta like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out, and it's the underlining energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. And this is the word inferiority. I probably repeated that. But sometimes I get so deep into like the channel that I forget that I said whatever. Okay, like whatever it was. So the underlining energy is inferiority, and I feel like you're connected to somebody that doesn't know what to do. They don't, you've been in separation from them for a while. They acted stupid when you met them. They were in a better place within their life. I feel like they were self-righteous. They didn't treat you well. But really, now they're in a place where they're not in that same energy and they feel inferior. They would like to have you back in their life. I feel like there's a part of you that doesn't want this person in your life. And you don't want this person in your life because you feel like it's again they're related to your family karma. They're related to your family karma because they were cruel to you for no reason. So again, this person was supposed to show feelings, be transparent. There's a soul connection here. And instead of them being that way, like like being in the energy of the genius, which is all about being in that higher self, the God part of self, to be in a place of unconditional love, they weren't. They were not nice, not transparent, but there's a real past life connection between you and this person. And I feel like you stuck around because there was a realization on both parts that you both were like had this spiritual connection. So I think that you thought that this person was going to be a lot different with you than they actually were. And taste of the water. Sorry about that. So you know, this connection is what made you, and that genius connection, by the way, that's ESP through the heart and mind. You know that this person is a soulmate. They knew but they're mean. And it brings you back to, again, the family that you were brought up in. So I feel like you didn't really engage because of it. Yeah, like you avoided this person, but I feel like they tend to like avoid you. There was a sense whenever you wanted to talk serious, know what was going on with the connection, know like they were cruel because they didn't want to give you the time of day, that they didn't want to respect you. Really, what you were asking for was the minimum. And the minimum was, I want to know what's going on in this connection. And I want to know like what your feelings are like really towards me. I want you to be transparent. And they wouldn't do that. It's like what they wanted to do was that they wanted to dominate, which is control, but controlling without giving you anything. So, if I stonewall you, if I emotionally manipulate you, if I play games with you, I'm going to dominate you without giving you anything. So that keeps you in a place of not really feeling confident, right? If you're going to sit there connected to someone that is going to play games and keep you connected, but never give you anything, never really give you the time of day that you deserve, that they're going to, you know, anytime that you want to know anything about what's going on in the connection or just want to go deep within the connection, this person's going to have a problem with it. Instead, they like to create illusions, and then what happens is you feel like you're living an illusion because you know who you are. You're a confident person. But if you're surrounded by someone that breadcrumbs you and they want to dominate you by giving you nothing, what they're doing is they're playing with your mind. They're trying to keep you in a low vibration, and that's the illusion. But you know who you are. But if you would stay in that, you would actually begin to form habits and behaviorisms and become subservient to this person. They would dominate you, which means that this person has real intimate issues in their relationship. They don't like to be transparent. They don't like to commit. They like to dominate. That's really what it is. And they know that no one would ever do that. So it's again, so what they do is they trick. They do it by gaslighting and really by trapping you. That's what it would feel. It feels like. It feels like you're trapped in a relationship. And when really you're not trapped, what it is that this person emotionally and psychologically has beaten you down to a place where you feel like you can't do anything. And so I feel like this is how this person normally navigates within their relationships. And so here it is, it's like you're a confident person, but from being around this person for a certain amount of time, you begin to, again, it affects your self-esteem because they're creating illusions and making you feel like you're trapped. When you really aren't trapped, you can get out of the relationship. And you might feel trapped by saying, no one's going to want you because you have kids. No one's going to want you because you don't make any money. Like they say things to psychologically mess with you. And again, just being extremely cruel. And here we feel again, like anytime that there's a problem, like this person wants to dominate you, but they don't want to be accountable whenever they do anything, whenever you talk to them about things that bother you, they're in a place that they'll avoid and just not be accountable. I mean, same thing, but then they want to dominate, and then what they're dominating through creating illusions because again, keeping you in a lower state of consciousness, having a low self-esteem, which over time makes you feel trapped. Like if you're going to stay connected, because what this person just keeps doing is manipulating you and is keeping you in a place where you stay angry. Where meanwhile, I feel like this person checks out where they use like substances, or you may find yourself even like drinking more, doing more to deal with their abuse, because this person doesn't really want to build any type of emotional connection with you. They're going to make you feel excluded. And not because of any reason, just because they have intimacy issues. They don't, it's like they want the relationship on their terms. Again, just so that they can keep their habits, their old habits. Being in a relationship with someone that's new, well, you usually have to step up to, the person that you're with. You become like them a lot of times, like where you adapt to their habits. This person wants you to adapt to their habits, which I feel like this person is somebody that has a very low self-esteem. I feel like there's someone that never really closes the door on old relationships. And so they don't like to have like real authentic relationships where they're transparent. They want to pretty much live by their addictions, and because they don't want to be like, accountable. They don't want to grow up. They want to stay in this really low energy. And this is why, again, they're cruel. Because it doesn't matter about the connection that they have with you, and if they're in too low of a vibration. So whatever you do in life to better yourself, this person is not going to be sitting there applauding you and being any form of support for you. What they would do is they would put themselves in competition with you, which is also cruel. And then if you're going to call them out on it, they're going to avoid you. Almost to like train you not to use your voice, not to say anything. Well, really, because there's a lack mentality that they have, and where it's really they're just lazy. They're just lazy. So that lack mentality could be, I just don't believe in love. I don't believe that it'll last. It's not really worth my time to put in the effort. And if you're gonna voice your opinion, and that's gonna aggravate me. So instead of me like changing or being transparent, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play games. I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna avoid you. I'm going to avoid you. I'm going to make you feel excluded. I'm going to use substances, and you're obviously going to be more and more resentful. And it doesn't matter then whether or not you have feelings for me or not, you're still connected to me. I'm still dominating you. I'm still controlling you, even without, because again, this person is at such a low vibration where they feel such a lack. They have such a lack mentality that they have to play games because they want to be in charge. They want to be the authority. It's again where they're in a place of victimhood, because really you're not giving that to them now. And it's because they decided to take a lot of risks in the relationship. They didn't want to settle down. They didn't want to be transparent with you. They wanted for them to be able to act however the way that they wanted to act, and for you to just follow suit, to be the martyr, to be their fixer. But meanwhile, this person has money issues because again, they're not really disciplined in anything, and they're empty. So being that they're empty, they're always looking for their next fix. So it wouldn't really ever be a relationship. It would be a karmic contract. That's what this person is used to. That's what it is. They avoided you because, again, of the judgment that you would give them. They don't want to do it. They need a lot of inner child healing. I feel like you need inner child healing too. That's why you attracted this person into your life, because they wanted to disempower you. So why would you attract someone into your life that wants to dominate you, that wants to disempower you? Like, why? I mean, aside from them being cruel, okay, well, one clue is to clear family karma, but what are the inner child wounds? Why are you attracting this into your life? Well, first card out is truth. Second card is innocence. Third card is source. Wow, we're seeing like positive cards. Well, lies and secrecy, it really isn't, but trauma. I spoke too soon and loner. All right. Well, let me pull just two more from this deck. And we're gonna see a soul's calling and grand journey. So what Spirit says is when I said, wow, I said, because to me, you're a truth speaker. You're an empath. You're a highly sensitive person. That innocence is really that. And so I feel like you had a lot of childhood trauma. But before I knew about the trauma, it's like you were have a very good connection to source, that you're always getting intuitive hits, you're always getting downloaded, you live by your truth, which is you live by the higher self. The higher self is the God part of self, that when you're living your truth, everything is you see that how everything is falling into alignment. You see how everything that the universe is working towards giving you support, that you don't need to like give your energy anything, that you're a highly sensitive person, you're an empath that was created because you grew up in trauma. There was trauma which made you highly sensitive, so you're an empath. But an empath is an earth angel, and those earth angels again have very strong connection again to source, where you live your truth, where it's almost like this person that you were attracted to was so dark, and they saw your innocence. And because an empath a lot of times has that innocence, they have like very like fairy energy, kind energy, love energy, where almost like this person would take your kindness for weakness. And I feel like that you grew up over the trauma, and which was all about emotional and psychological trauma, where you had to live a lie. Again, the secrets were the family karma. So that could have been addiction. It could be, again, anything that would bring shame to the family, but then also the anger of the family passed down due to the experiences. Sorry about that, the experiences that they created. So the spiritual lesson really was to live your truth, to not live a lie, to not live in secrecy. When you were younger, you had to be a loner. Whereas, like, again, an empath, a highly sensitive person, someone that was innocent, someone that lives their truth, someone that's close to source. And I feel like you saw yourself as weak. You saw yourself as weak, where people always dominated you, tried to control you, use your energy rather for what they wanted to use it for, which is traumatic, because you grew up in an environment where there wasn't that emotional support, that there wasn't that psychological support. If anything, like there was trauma, and then you went out into the trauma due to abuse, and then going out into the world and recreating those same types of experiences, which made you even more sensitive. So, as a highly sensitive person, I feel like you saw yourself as weak, or you just saw yourself as not being safe, not having that, where really Spirit's saying it's like you are safe because you're connected to source. You're not alone. You have the capability to heal yourself because, again, you have a connection to source. So it was about knowing that a lot of times most of the time, all the time, trauma will make you have a better connection to source, because it pushes us into the psychic realm, and that allows you to be more like not just sensitive to other people, but sensitive to your own needs, and sensitive to being able to read that energetic connection that you have with source, like it said, which keeps you innocent because you are in this place of trust, and you're in this place of trust because again of source. So, and loner wasn't bad either. It's just the lies and the secrecy. So, like, you're not willing to live a lie or live like a secret life and to be a loner anymore. You don't want to be a loner anymore. It's like you don't want to you want needed to heal that trauma. And to heal the trauma is to live your truth. And like you said, I feel like you're connected to somebody that doesn't want you to live your truth. They want you to dummy down so it's easier for them because they're lazy, when really that's probably what you witnessed growing up in your family, that one parent did all the work, another parent didn't do any of the work. And so the marriage wasn't happy. And it wasn't happy because the one that was doing all the work was complaining that they were doing all the work, and the one that was receiving was continuously hearing that they were never doing anything. So of course they wanted to be able to do it without not having to deal with the consequences. So this is why Spirit says that was an imprint. Again, this person came into your life to make you aware of that imprint that still needs to be healed, almost like either you need to be like that either you wind up in a relationship with one person that has all the power and the other person that doesn't, which is not true. That's just imbalance. Or you are not strong enough to be in a relationship where you just attract somebody that takes advantage of you, is cruel, is mean, is like it wants everything their way, where really Spirit says it's not either those two choices. That's what you live through. Those were the choices that you felt that you had in childhood. Those are the experiences that are imprinted on your subconscious mind, but that is not truth. That's the trauma. That's what needed to be cleared. That's why when this person came into your life, you saw their behaviors and you're like, no, I don't want to be in this type of relationship because I already lived through it. I know what that looks like. I know. And it's like this spiritual connection was all really about learning to love yourself, to learn to love yourself, because source is inside of you. That it says, I choose to see the beauty in me. My wealth lies in my nature and potential. I transform my weaknesses into strength. I realize that I am a being of light and I allow myself to shine. So again, this person would never allow you to shine. If anything, they'd put themselves in competition with you. They would betray you. They would belittle you. They would disempower you. All this person knows how to be in is a karmic contract. That is it. It's like, and one where whoever's with them doesn't really get anything. It's all about them. It's all about them manipulating to get what they want. And then when you have something to say, they're going to avoid you. They're not going to give you the time. So this is either be with someone that makes you feel unloved or give yourself the love that you deserve, because you need to reparent yourself in order to clear the karma. You already know what the truth is. You're a truth speaker. And so empaths not all the time need to be with narcissists. They need to pay attention to who's a narcissist. And this person is like a narcissist. Anyone that wants to come in and disempower you, because they need their healing. They need healing. They're not bringing anything to the table. Then nothing. They have money issues as well, like I said. So they're in a low vibration. They would not be able to deal with seeing you in a high vibration. It doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. They have feelings, but they're wounded, so it doesn't matter. All right, Gemini, I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.